It was a cold and dark night. The streets were empty except for the occasional car passing by. Amjad, a billionaire businessman, was driving his sleek black car through the quiet city. His mind was full of work, meetings, and deadlines. His life was busy and stressful, but he was used to it. Success had come to him through hard work, but it had also made his heart a little cold and distant. As Amjad drove down the road, rain started to fall softly. The city lights reflected on the wet streets. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a woman appeared in front of his car. Amjad slammed the brakes. The car screeched and stopped just inches away from her. The woman stumbled and fell onto the wet road. Amjad's heart raced. He quickly got out of the car and ran to her side. She was weak, her clothes were torn, and her face was pale. She looked helpless. Amjad bent down and asked, "Are you okay? What happened?" The woman didn't answer. She was too weak to speak. Amjad carefully lifted her into his arms. He wanted to take her to the hospital right away, but something stopped him. Maybe it was the look in her tired eyes or the way she held her head low. Amjad decided to take her to his home instead, where she could rest and feel safe. Inside his large, empty mansion, Amjad laid her gently on a soft couch. He called a doctor to come and check her. The woman finally opened her eyes and whispered, "Thank you." Amjad watched her closely. He noticed the small details, the dirt under her nails, the bruises on her arms, and the way she shivered. Despite the warm room, his heart ached. He asked gently, "What is your name? Why are you here alone at this hour?" The woman looked down, her voice barely a whisper. "My name is Zara." Amjad nodded, understanding that she might not be ready to tell him everything yet. He gave her water and some warm clothes. Zara slowly started to recover, but Amjad could see that she was carrying a heavy burden, one that was much deeper than just her physical pain. The next morning, Amjad woke up early and went to check on Zara. She was still asleep, but her face looked peaceful for the first time in a long while. Amjad sat beside her and thought about what had happened the night before. He realized that this was not just a chance meeting. It was a moment that could change everything. He felt a strange connection to Zara, even though he barely knew her. His life, full of money and power, suddenly felt empty compared to the simple kindness he showed her. Amjad made a decision. He would find out everything about Zara's past, her pain, and why she was left alone on the street that cold night. He quietly left the room and began to search for clues. He found a small old photograph in her pocket, a picture of a young girl and a man, both smiling. The photo was worn out, but it was clear that Zara had loved someone deeply. Amjad's curiosity grew stronger. Why had Zara been abandoned? What had happened to her? Amjad knew one thing for sure. He would not leave her alone again. She had already suffered too much. Later that day, when Zara finally woke up, Amjad asked her gently, "Zara, will you tell me your story? I want to help you." Zara looked into his eyes and saw something she had not seen in a long time. Hope. The story had just begun, and for Amjad, this unexpected night was about to change his life forever. The next morning, the sun shone brightly through the tall windows of Amjad's mansion. But inside, there was a quiet tension in the air. Zara sat on the couch, wrapped in a soft blanket. Her eyes were tired, but she seemed a little stronger than before. Amjad brought her some tea and sat down beside her. He looked at her kindly and said, "Zara, you don't have to be afraid here. I want to help you. Please tell me what happened." Zara hesitated. She looked down at her hands and then slowly began to speak. Her voice was soft but filled with pain. "I didn't always live on the streets," she said. "I had a family once, but things went wrong. My father was sick, and we didn't have money for his medicine. My mother worked hard, but it was never enough." Amjad listened carefully. He felt a sharp pain in his chest. Even though he was rich, he had never thought about people like Zara, people who struggled every day just to survive. One day, Zara continued, "My mother left with my little sister to find help, but they never came back. I waited for them, but they never returned. I was left alone. Tears filled Zara's eyes. Amjad reached out and gently held her hand. "I am so sorry, Zara," he said. "No one should have to live like that." Zara looked at him, surprised by his kindness. "Thank you, Amjad. But I don't know what to do now. I'm scared." Amjad made a decision right then. "You don't have to be scared anymore. You are safe here. I will help you find your family." Days passed, and Amjad tried to learn more about Zara's past. He hired people to search for her, mother and sister, but no one knew where they were. Meanwhile, Zara slowly started to feel a little hope. She began to smile again, something she hadn't done for a long time. Amjad's kindness gave her strength. But one evening, when Amjad returned home, he found Zara sitting alone in the dark garden. She looked worried. "What is it, Zara?" Amjad asked. She took a deep breath and said, "I have to tell you something I didn't tell you before." Amjad waited quietly. Zara looked down and whispered, "The night I collapsed, I wasn't just tired or sick. Someone was after me. My family's secret is dangerous." Amjad's eyes widened. "What secret? What danger?" Zara shook her head. "I can't say now, but I'm scared they will find me here." Amjad felt the weight of her fear. He promised her, "No one will hurt you here. I will protect you." That night, Amjad couldn't sleep. He thought about Zara's words. Why was she being chased? What secret did her family hold? The next day, Amjad's private investigator found a clue. A man had been seen near Zara's old neighborhood, asking questions about her family. It was clear. The danger was real and close. Amjad knew he had to act fast. He arranged for extra security around his home. He wanted Zara to feel safe. Zara thanked Amjad quietly. For the first time in years, she felt someone cared. But deep inside, both of them knew this was just the beginning of a difficult journey. A journey to find the truth and keep Zara safe. Days passed quietly at Amjad's mansion, but the feeling of danger stayed close. Zara was becoming stronger, but she never left the house without a worried look. One evening, as the sun was setting, Amjad was in his study when he heard a soft knock on the door. It was late, and he was not expecting anyone. He opened the door slowly and saw a man standing there, wearing a long coat and a hat that hid most of his face. "Can I help you?" Amjad asked carefully. The man looked at him with sharp eyes and said, "I'm here to talk about Zara." Amjad's heart beat faster. He invited the man inside, but stayed cautious. The man sat down and introduced himself as Asad, an old friend of Zara's family. "I know about the danger Zara is in," Asad said quietly. "There are people who want to find her because of something valuable her family has." Amjad frowned. "What do you mean? What valuable thing?" Asad looked at Zara, who was watching from a distance, scared but curious. Years ago, Asad explained, Zara's father discovered something important, a secret that could change many lives. But some people wanted it for themselves. They hurt Zara's family because of it. Zara's eyes filled with tears. "That's why they took my mother and sister. To get the secret." Amjad stood up, feeling a strong need to protect Zara and uncover the truth. "Tell me everything, Asad," Amjad said firmly. Asad nodded and began to tell the story. Zara's father was a scientist who found a way to help many poor families get clean water. But powerful men wanted to stop him because it would hurt their business. They attacked his family, hoping to silence them, Asad said. Zara's mother and sister escaped, but no one knows where they went. Amjad felt sadness and anger. He looked at Zara and said, "We will find your family. I promise." Zara smiled weakly, feeling hope for the first time in a long time. Asad warned them, "The people who want the secret are dangerous. You must be very careful." That night, Amjad and Zara talked about their next steps. Amjad planned to use all his resources to find Zara's mother and sister before the others did. But as the days went by, strange things began to happen. Amjad noticed a black car parked near his house. Sometimes he saw unfamiliar faces watching from a distance. Zara's fear grew stronger. She said, "They are coming closer." Amjad knew it was time to act quickly. He hired trusted guards and installed cameras around the mansion. Despite the danger, Zara felt safe with Amjad. His care gave her strength to face the unknown. One night, Zara found a hidden envelope under her pillow. Inside was a note. "Stop looking or you will lose everything." Amjad and Zara read the warning together. It was clear the enemies were near and wanted to scare them away. Amjad held Zara's hand and said, "We won't stop. We will find your family and keep you safe." The next morning, Amjad met Asad and told him about the threat. "We need to find the secret before they do," Amjad said. Asad agreed and showed them a small box Zara's father had hidden before. He disappeared. Inside the box was a map with strange marks and a small key. Zara looked at the box with hope and fear. This was the secret everyone was after. Amjad felt the weight of responsibility. He knew their journey was far from over. They were now in a race against time with danger at every step. The next morning, Amjad, Zara, and Asad sat together in the mansion's large living room. The small box with the map and the key lay on the table between them. Amjad looked carefully at the map. It was old and worn, with strange symbols and lines, leading to a place far from the city. None of them had seen anything like it before. "What is this place?" Zara asked, her voice trembling. Asad explained, "This is where Zara's father hid his secret. It is a safe place, but very hard to find." Amjad thought deeply. "We must go there soon. The people chasing you won't stop. They will try to take the secret from us." Zara nodded, feeling both scared and hopeful. She knew that the answers to her family's mystery were in that faraway place. Before they left, Amjad told his guards to be ready and planned their route carefully. The journey would not be easy. The next day they set out. Amjad drove his car with Zara and Asad beside him. The city disappeared behind them as they moved toward the mountains shown on the map. Hours passed, and the road became rough. Trees and rocks surrounded them. The silence was broken only by the car's engine. Zara kept looking at the map, trying to understand the path. Suddenly, the car stopped near a narrow trail covered by thick bushes. "This must be the way," Asad said, stepping out and pointing to the trail. Amjad and Zara followed him. The air was cool and fresh, but the forest felt mysterious and full of secrets. They walked slowly, careful not to make noise. The trail led them to an old, hidden cave entrance covered with vines and moss. Amjad shined his flashlight inside. The cave was dark and deep. Zara's heart beat fast. "Are you ready?" Amjad asked. Zara swallowed her fear and nodded. They entered the cave, carrying the small box tightly. Inside, the walls were cold and damp. The sound of dripping water echoed softly. They walked deeper and saw strange paintings and symbols on the walls. Zara felt a strange connection. These signs were like her father's notes. After some time, they reached a small stone door with a lock. The key from the box fit perfectly. The door opened slowly, revealing a small room filled with papers, drawings, and a strange machine covered in dust. Asad gasped. "This is it, the secret your father worked on." Zara stepped closer, looking at the machine. It was a water purifier, a device to clean dirty water and help poor communities. Tears filled her eyes. "Father wanted to help people. That's why they attacked us." Amjad looked around and said, "We must protect this and bring it to the..." Suddenly they heard noise outside the cave, footsteps and voices. Someone was coming. "Hide," Amjad whispered urgently. They quickly moved behind the stone walls, holding their breath. Through a crack in the door, they saw men entering the cave, armed and dangerous. These were the people who wanted the secret for their own gain. The leader looked angry. "Find the machine and bring it to me. No one must leave here alive." Amjad's heart raced. He looked at Zara and whispered, "We need a plan to escape." Zara's eyes shone with courage. "We can use the secret against them. We must not give up." As the men searched the cave, Amjad noticed a narrow passage behind the machine. It might lead outside. He pointed to Zara and Assad. "Follow me, we can escape through there." They waited for the right moment. When the men moved closer to the machine, the three friends ran silently to the passage. The path was dark and tight, but they moved quickly. Outside, the fresh air was a relief. They ran through the forest with the sounds of the angry men behind them. After a long chase, they finally reached the car. Amjad started the engine and drove away fast. Zara looked back at the forest and said, "We are safe for now. But this fight is just beginning." Amjad nodded. "We will protect your father's secret, no matter what," Assad added. "Together, we are stronger. The truth will win." The journey ahead was dangerous, but their hope and courage grew stronger. They were ready to face whatever came next. The car sped away from the forest, but Amjad, Zara, and Assad knew they were not safe yet. The men who wanted the secret would not give up so easily. Amjad's phone rang. It was his trusted assistant. "Sir, some strange men have been asking about your movements. They are watching your mansion." Amjad's face turned serious. "Tell the guards to be alert. We must protect the secret at all costs." Zara looked worried. "Who are these people? Why do they want my father's invention?" Assad replied, "There are many who want to control the water supply. If they get this machine, they will use it for power, not to help people." Zara's eyes filled with tears. "Father only wanted to help poor villages. This is not fair." Amjad put a hand on her shoulder. "We will stop them. But first, we need to hide the machine somewhere safe." They reached Amjad's mansion. He called his most loyal guards and showed them the machine and the papers. "This secret is important. Protect it with your lives," he ordered. That night, Amjad, Zara, and Assad planned their next steps. They knew the enemy was closer than they thought. Suddenly, Zara received a message on her phone. It was a video. The video showed her little brother, held by unknown men. Zara gasped. "They have my brother. They want me to give them the machine." Amjad clenched his fists. "We will get him back. We must be smart and careful." The next morning, Amjad met with a trusted friend, Inspector Riaz, a police officer known for honesty. Amjad showed him the video and explained everything. Inspector Riaz nodded. "This is serious. I will assign officers to protect your family and find your brother." Meanwhile, Zara felt helpless but determined. "I will do whatever it takes to save him." Days passed with tension and fear. The kidnappers sent messages demanding the machine. Amjad and Zara pretended to agree but planned a secret rescue mission with Inspector Riaz. One night, they tracked the kidnappers to an old warehouse on the city's edge. Amjad, Zara, Assad, and the police moved quietly. Inside the dark warehouse, Zara heard a faint cry. "There!" she whispered. They found her brother tied and scared but unharmed. The kidnappers noticed the police and tried to escape. A chase began. Amjad and the officers caught the kidnappers. Zara hugged her brother tightly, tears streaming down her face. Amjad smiled, feeling relief but knowing the danger was not over. Back at the mansion, they decided to reveal the machine to the world. If more people knew about it, the bad men could not control it. The story of Zara's father and the secret invention began to inspire hope. But the fight for justice and truth was only starting. After the rescue, life at Amjad's mansion was tense, but hopeful. Zara's little brother was safe, but the threat still loomed. Amjad sat in his study, staring at the invention's blueprints. His mind was full of questions. Could the world be ready for such power? Could it be used for good? Or would greed destroy it? Zara entered quietly. "Sir, my father's dream was to help people. We cannot hide the invention forever." Amjad looked at her. "You're right, but we must be careful. The wrong hands can cause great harm." Assad joined them. "Maybe we should find scientists and leaders who can protect the invention and use it wisely." Zara nodded. "Yes, but first we must tell the world the truth. People need hope." That night, Amjad called a press conference. Cameras flashed as he stood before the crowd. He spoke clearly. "Today, I reveal a secret, an invention that can provide clean water to millions. This gift from Zara's father must not be hidden. The world reacted with shock and curiosity. Some praised the idea, others doubted its reality. Meanwhile, enemies from the shadows watched closely. They planned to steal the invention before it changed everything. One evening, a masked group tried to break into the mansion. Amjad's guards fought bravely. Zara and her family hid in a safe room. The attackers failed but left a warning note. Give us the invention or lose everything. Fear gripped Zara's heart. They will never stop, Amjad promised. We will fight for justice no matter what. Together they worked day and night to improve the machine, making it stronger and safer. Zara visited poor villages, telling people about the invention and giving hope for a better future. Her eyes shone with tears of joy when she saw children drinking clean water for the first time. But deep inside, she worried about the coming storm. One night, as they gathered in the mansion, a loud explosion shook the house. The attackers had come again, stronger and more dangerous. Amjad, Zara, and Asad prepared for the battle ahead, knowing their lives and dreams were at stake. The night was dark and full of danger. The mansion's alarm screamed loudly as masked attackers broke in. Amjad, Zara, and Asad stood together, ready to defend their dream. The attackers were many, but Amjad's guards fought with courage. Zara held her little brother tightly, praying for safety. The air was thick with fear and hope. In the middle of the chaos, Amjad remembered the secret safe room where the invention's plans were hidden. He rushed there, heart pounding. Asad covered him, fighting off the enemies. Zara helped the injured guards, her hands shaking but her spirit strong. Finally, Amjad reached the safe room. He grabbed the blueprints and a small device, the heart of the invention. He looked back to see the mansion under attack. With no time to lose, Amjad activated the device's emergency signal. It sent a message to trusted friends and the police. Suddenly, sirens wailed in the distance. The attackers heard it too. Panic spread among them. The police arrived just in time. The attackers fled, leaving behind weapons and broken dreams. The battle was over, but the fight for the invention's future had just begun. Days passed. The world now knew about the invention and Zara's brave family. Leaders from many countries reached out to help protect and use the invention for good. Zara smiled as she watched children drink clean water in her village. Tears of joy filled her eyes. Amjad stood beside her, proud and changed by the journey. He realized that true wealth was not money, but the power to change lives. Zara whispered, "This is just the beginning." Together they planned to share the invention with the world, hoping to bring light where there was darkness. Their story became a symbol of hope, courage, and love. And as the sun rose on a new day, they knew their fight was worth every moment.